wrestling fans, thanks for clicking on the Jarrett D. Rose Report. Alright, here we go. Starting out the week with former WCW television champion Arn Anderson is now considered as a lock for being inducted individually to this year's Hall of Fame class of 2011. Anyway, this weekend in Atlanta, Georgia, WWE officials previously contemplated, inducting him in the Hall of Fame as part of the group of the Four Horsemen, but idea is considered dead now, I guess. Plus, member Marcus Buff Bagwell turns 41 today. Anyway, his former tag team champion, partner, for a while. Oh, he wasn't no partner. He was just, I don't think he ever held a title or anything. Well, anyway, Brian Christopher turns 39. Shows you how old Jerry Lawler is. But I guess he was a tag team champion, not only belt he held for a while. Him and what the hell's his name, skipped down there with the worm and all that. So anyway, World Wrestling Entertainment has issued a copyright claim to YouTube regarding the trailer of WWE Studios' upcoming Triple H theme music, The Chaperone, in an effort to have it vanquished from the video sharing website. Like the one you're on now. Anyway, company officials reportedly miffed over the version that hit the web, feeling it was of poor quality. So, I don't know. That's poor quality. That was from the film, I guess. WWE, however, launched a website featuring the same trailer as well as a promotional photo of the film. And by the way, if you want to check it out, it's www.chaperone.com.au. And perhaps the most startling news coming out of last night's Genesis pay-per-view. If you got Genesis pay-per-view, let me know what you thought about it. Anyways, most startling news coming out of last night's Genesis pay-per-view wasn't that Jeff Jarrett plans to announce his departure from the MMA competition, but that he would do this Thursday night on Impact, now catch this, with his wife, Karen, by his side. This is going to be kind of interesting. And the only thing that would make this a really good shot and a real good rating for TNA if it's not taped. So we won't know, can't give out any spoilers. So anyway, Jarrett taunts his longtime adversary, Kurt Angle, when he declares, finally, the three of us are going to celebrate together. And for those that's not aware, tension between the two have been high for some time, to say the least. That's since Angle's divorce from Karen in '08. And then finally getting married to Jarrett in August last year. Thursday's appearance marks Karen Jarrett's, that's hard to say, Karen Jarrett's return to TNA after a long absence. And if you don't remember, man, she's a beauty. A former personal valet who eventually got her own segment called Karen's Angle, left the show not too long after that. There just was problems, and Jarrett was gone for a while too. No question, sparks are going to be flying when Jarrett holds Angle of his plans that Karen was going to come to Impact Zone, whether he liked it or not. Tipping the scales there. Anyway, it says on the promo, don't miss what promises to be a very special family reunion this Thursday, January 13th, 9 p.m., 8 p.m. on Central Standard Time on Spike. Well, that should be good. I'll have to tune in. Former ECW announcer Stephen DeAngelis, who he was backstage at Genesis last night, is not working at TNA, by the way. He's just in town because of business in Orlando, and he currently is working for a casting director and was just visiting friends. TNA is currently planning to release a dietary supplement called Impact 3 Count. Maybe there's only 3 in there, I don't know. Velvet Sky, by the way, is featured on bags of Tom's brand hot fried chips. The bags have a graphic that reads, win a TNA contract for a day. We don't get that around here, Tom's hot fried chips. So I don't know anything about that. As noted before, though, AJ Styles was not at the Genesis pay-per-view. He's expected to be out of action up to about 6 weeks with a hip injury. If Styles can't heal during the injury, he may have to be, do some surgery, which would put him out of action about 4 to 6 months. The storyline that came out of last night's Genesis was Styles got hurt while helping his son who flipped his four-wheeler. And apparently, that's the real cause of it. With February 6th WWE live event at the Sugar Bowl being a super show now, the plans for Raw live event for that day in Madison, Wisconsin has been canceled. Aren't they usually on a Sunday? That's usually just a house show, usually. CM Punk, by the way, noted on his Twitter that he wrestled Jerry Lawler at last night's Raw live event in Memphis, Tennessee, Jerry's hometown, but I never heard any more about it. He just wrestled, and I don't know whether it came out to a draw. If anybody around Memphis, watches this show, my condolences for one thing. But if you went to the show, let me know what happened. WWE announced a 3-year deal with Sky Deutschland that will see programming continue to air in Germany and on their HD programming airing in Germany, Australia, and Switzerland for the very first time. The new deal lands WWE superstars and Afterburner. It's a recap of what doesn't air in the U.S. To the lineup. Also, deals to bring all of WWE pay-per-views to those markets, airing on Sky for their entirety for the first time ever. Also, so hit some little bit new markets, I guess. Former TNA knockout Taylor Wilde recently spoke to the Sun Sports show and says on her status, says, "I'm not just leaving TNA, I'm retiring from wrestling, going back to school." And her departure says, "I have nothing but good things to say about TNA. If it wasn't for my experience there, I wouldn't be the person I am today." Retiring, I guess. They made her retire, go back to school. Anyway, her future in wrestling, if I go back to school, she says, earn a degree, and then some amazing wrestling opportunity come my way, I'll be able to make a more adult decision. Apparently, she's not adult enough to say yes or no right now. Former WWE star Batista filmed a low-budget horror movie in December called House of the Rising Sun, and is scheduled to be released later this year. Animal plays a former crooked cop who now works as a bouncer at a strip club. And after the club owner ends up murdered, Batista's character, his name's going to be Ray, must get to the bottom of everything as he's been set up for the murder. Batista's also up for a role in a major action movie that's set to star Russell Crowe, of all things, and an MMA fighter, Chung Lee. Heath Slater, by the way, is the first Nexus member to get his own Mattel action figure. And he's featured in a 2-pack, I guess, with Christian. Former Nexus member Michael Tarver said he's about ready to come back to action full-time. He's still wrestling in the developmental. Tarver says right now he's coming out with no entrance music and just been wearing the Nexus band around his arm. All right, here's where I was before a customer rudely walked in and did business. The old great Khali, he finished his movie, it's a TV show, The Big Boss. It's India's reality show, kind of like Big Brother or something. Anyway, he ended up becoming the first runner-up in the show. Show is now over and noted before Khali's expected return to WWE in time for the Royal Rumble. See how he does there. And let me see. WWE is going to be touring Mexico this coming May in 2011. All right, former WWE star Cliff Domino, remember him? The tag team, I think they were champs for a while. Anyway, he won the OVW heavyweight title this weekend at Davis Arena. WWE developmental talent Wes Briscoe recently underwent knee surgery with Dr. James Andrews, which works on football players, everybody, in Alabama. Briscoe was scheduled to be called up at the end of 2010, but couldn't do it because of the injury. Darn the luck. Former NXT rookie and FCW Diva champion AJ Lee, which is just a little spitfire, is now working full-time as a heel in the developmental. Thanks for clicking, you guys. I gotta go.